Good afternoon and welcome to Thriving Tuesday Moments of Encouragement, TTMOE at 3:33 or so. We're a little later than that. Tried to get in here at 3:33. It is decompress week for me, and so, but I did not and will not ever sacrifice Thriving Tuesdays, even when I am on quote unquote vacay, just a few days to recalibrate and regroup. And thanks to each of you for your consistent care and concern for me during this very hectic annual conference season. Glad that it has ended, but very happy with the way God has orchestrated things in all ways. So let's talk about how to hold on until the light breaks. I don't know what many of you are going through. There's a lot of uncertainty that is going on in our world. A lot of things that are a struggle if we are dwelling in the reality of things. But the truth is, we are called to hold on. And when we hold on, the old song says, hold to God's unchanging hand. But when we hold on, we do it expecting light to break. Darkness will loom. Darkness will come for us. And I don't know about you, but it's been a season where I've had to really speak to myself. And as the song is playing, encourage myself in the Lord. As people, we just have some trust issues. And so because of that, we kind of tend to inculcate ourselves so that we don't have to deal with the backlash, the pain of hurt that comes from sources that we didn't expect it. So it's easy to slip over there and let the darkness loom and hang over us, kind of like a cloud that follows us. But I came to encourage you today and myself as I take time to reassess and to look at life, that light will break. Circumstances come and they come fast and furiously. Things happen that you could not have possibly imagined, and it will throw you for a loop if you let it. But we've got to remember that we are not the one who handles the providence of our lives. That is God. God is the providential orchestrator. And so for whatever we're going through, we've got to look for God in it. And when we find God in it, light breaks. Because light breaks when truth breaks. When we are able to see what God is revealing to us through whatever the circumstances are, when we're looking beyond the thing, the issue, and looking to what God may be showing us in it, then light breaks. Even if we still don't have an answer to the question, or even if questions are still hovering, when we trust God for it, when we look for God in all of our situations, light breaks. Psalm 121, 1 and 2 tells us to look to the hills for which cometh our help. Our help is coming not from the hills, but from the Lord who made heaven and earth. And when we look to God for all of those answers, light will break from over the mountaintop. We will see the light rise up and it will break through the darkness. You know, we like to say and quote, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. But that's the truth. That's the honest to God truth, that weeping endures for a night. But if we don't get stuck in the weeping and we start focusing on the revelation, then the weeping won't overtake us because we're looking for revelation. And when revelation shows up, then light breaks with it. Even if we don't like what light says, we can handle it because it's no longer dark. It's no longer seeing through the glass darkly. It's clear, and we can see. I can see clearly now what the rain is gone. And when we can see clearly, even that which we hoped would not be true, would not come to pass. If it comes to pass, then we have clarity. And in clarity, light can break. Because light is an illuminator of what it is that is going on. You walk in a room and it's dark, you turn on the light, you can see everything. It may look absolutely clean and straightened up in the dark, but when you turn on the light, all the little specks, all the things that are on the floor, all the stuff that we kind of ignore comes to light. And why is that important? We can't clean up what we don't see. So look for light. Light breaks. Epiphany comes. And with epiphany and God driven, God led epiphany, when that happens, then that light is a light that we can handle because we know the one who handles us. Thank you, Anobi. Jesus is the light of the world. And because Jesus is light and we're in Jesus, then even when the light breaks, it is difficult to deal with, we know we are not by ourselves. Now, when I say look for light, I don't mean look for everything to be just fine, everything to be all right. You know, everything will be all right, and it is going to be all right, but not necessarily is it going to be what we want. We got to change our lens about what all right is. All right is that whenever we are where God is, whenever we are aligned with God, even if it doesn't feel good, it is good. So we've got to recognize that light does what light is supposed to do. Our response to light doing and being what light is supposed to be is to recognize what we see. Keep walking by faith and not by sight, but don't ignore what we see, and ask God to help us to navigate that which is visible. Because if God revealed it, God already has provision to handle it. I promise. I don't believe for 1 minute that there's anything God reveals to us that God has not already put something in motion, some things we may not even know yet, that are going to help to bring things to pass that we are in need of. If it is your ministry, if God has called you to it and God has revealed it to you, God is going to make provision for it to come to pass. If it is personal things that you have been working on and trying to get better about yourself, if you look for God in that situation with expectation, God will show you. And where God has shown you vision, that's it, General Secretary. Where vision is, where God has been provision, then God has already made provision. Yeah. Because provision is not going to come if we're not ready for what God provides. We sometimes want God to give us everything and then for us to figure it out. But that's not how God works. God, the vision comes first. The vision, and then that vision is wrapped in prayer, and that prayer is wrapped in expectation and a knowledge of who God is, and then a looking for light even when it seems dark, even when we want to say, but I don't have, but I can't find, but this isn't here. We can say, you know what, I may not see it, but I know God has already seen it, so I'm going to situate myself right here. Place my eyes on God, place my eyes on Christ so that they can illuminate, so that the triune God can illuminate my mind, my heart, my soul, so that each next step I take is already covered by the one who made it all. I know that's some mature faith talking, but I'm needing us, especially in these last and evil days, and we don't know how long last is, but we know it's evil. I'm gonna need us to look at things, and I meant I'ma need us to look at things through a lens that reveals the light. Don't let your spiritual cornea go dim. Don't get spiritual glaucoma so that you can't see and that everything is in a shadow. God has called us to light because Jesus is the light of the world, and he should be shining in our souls. But sometimes we just get inundated by the foolishness that is this world. And when we get inundated by that, darkness starts to creep up. And then darkness just puts this little cloud over our heads and we can't see beyond the cloud. But the psalmist says, look up. Look beyond the cloud. Look to the hills for which cometh your help, because the help is coming from the Lord who made heaven and earth. If God made all things, don't you think God is capable of creating a light, a ray of light that we can look at and see, and that will guide us into all things? There's no mistake that stars are what led them. Led the wise, led the wise men. It's no coincidence that the light, the stars, the North Star is what led Harriet Tubman, that led people who were on crusades. There's a reason for that, because light makes the darkness not so ominous. Because whenever light shows up, it's never completely dark. So in our situation that we find ourselves in, we need to show up being light. Because when we show up being light, then the darkness can't comprehend. The darkness can't overcome. When we walk by faith and not by sight, there's a light that shines in our souls, that light that shines in that vessel, that inward vessel, so that we never can dwell in darkness, because it's too much light for us to call darkness a place of residence. My encouragement to us today is to weather these storms, to hold on, because light's gonna break. I don't care what we have to go through. Sometimes it's gonna cost us more than we wanted to pay in dollars, in cents, in life, in time. But when we hold on and we let God work it through, there's some things that God does. Even if it means that we are hurt, it becomes an illuminator. We're able to see all things because God reveals them. And when God reveals them, don't try to tell God that's not what you see. God is revealing things to us for a purpose. And when it's revealed, and I mean revealed by God, not by our own knowledge, not by our own feelings, because feelings do not have a brain. But when we acknowledge that God has revealed it, and once God has revealed it, there's nothing left to do but walk in God's way and trust. Trust God in all things. So Good afternoon to everyone. Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Sister Hall. Hey, James Blackman, Miss Lucy, Ain't OB. Good to see you. Hey, cousin. Hey, Trevor. Um, Listen, that's my word for today. Life will break, but we got to hold on. If we walk away because it looks like the darkness is getting ready to take over, we will never see the miracle of God to shine light and break through it. So hold on, expect light to break, and be encouraged. I'll see you soon.